Joining us now, Christine Halfpenny, the head coach of Notre Dame's women's lacrosse team. She's now in her 7th season as head coach after leading the Irish to their 6th straight NCAA tournament appearance in 2017. Chris, thank you so much for joining us on Notre Dame Day and taking the time to visit. It's great to catch up with you. We've while Terry was doing the other interview, we were talking an awful lot about a lot of different things that regard women's lacrosse. First of all, your top 2 scorers on your team are freshmen. Is this a really young ball club?
Yeah, this year we definitely, we have to say we're young, and we've talked about it quite a bit starting in the fall. We're a young team this year, but it's not an excuse. Our youth is talented, and you see that by the numbers on the stats. 2 of them have done a great job of getting that ball in the back of the net for us, and it's really an awesome amount of energy we have out there with our youth, so it's been a huge positive for us.
People always talk about in every sport, you have the youthful enthusiasm versus that veteran experience. To get the blend of both is the ultimate dream. But right now, I guess you're more leaning towards that youthful enthusiasm. And they may make some mistakes, but they make them fast. And they make them in a hurry. Is that fair? Yeah,
and then you know what? They forget them and they move on. So we definitely are looking for that blend and that mix. But sometimes, it looks a little bit different. This year it does look a little bit different with that youthful energy that we have. That said, our older kids have done a great job of growing into those old roles a little bit quicker, which has been really nice. We've got a great group. We can call them the Fabulous Four, seniors that are bringing a lot of that veteran experience heading into the ACC tournament this week.
One of the things I really want to touch on, and that's a bit of a recruiting change that's been made not only here at the university but the NCAA regarding recruiting women for women's lacrosse. What's the change?
Yeah, well, recruiting took a turn and started going way too early. I was definitely an advocate for slowing it down, and in fact, the women's lacrosse community, our IWLCA coaches committee, along with the men's coaches committee, bound together and put forth some new legislation to the NCAA, which was passed right around this time last year. So we're a year into slowing down the recruiting process. It was not uncommon for many girls lacrosse players to be committing in their freshman and sophomore years of high school. Way too early. Now that has produced some great, players for us and students here at Notre Dame that went through that process, but we're so happy and so excited about that slowing down. The new rules now do limit us from talking to prospects until September 1st of their junior year.
But I think that's wonderful because, let's face it, there's the academic side of it. Coming in as a freshman, just any transition out of high school, coming to anywhere. The University of Notre Dame is such a big program. And you get overwhelmed. And you get lost in it. But it's great that you made the change. I also want to talk to you about Daughters for Dads campaign. What is that?
Yeah, it's a campaign that's very near and dear to my heart, in a very sad way. Sometimes, you don't go out and choose your charity chooses you. And back in 2013 and 14, over the course of that academic year, we had lost 2 fathers to players in our program here at Notre Dame in that same calendar year. 2 of my former players from William & Mary lost their fathers. So we had lost 4 fathers to cancer in a 9-month span. And it just hit us really hard. As female athletes, you always have mom and dad there at so many of your events. But, a lot of us would say that dad, they're our coaches, and they're still in those stands cheering us on. And so from that, as Notre Dame does, we find an opportunity to really heighten the awareness for the need for dollars for research. And one of my alumni, Jordy Shoemaker, 2012, kind of jumped right on board with me to help us start our awareness campaign to raise money for cancer research to help us fight the disease together.
That's so wonderful. We appreciate it. Thanks for spending some time. Good luck the rest of the year, too.
Thank you so much.
With those young, energetic individuals.
That's right.